I gotta get used to all this YouTube. This is why we're doing this tonight. Tomorrow, when you guys join us, you are live. I am live. All right. So that's cool. Digging that. I'm gonna switch back over here in the morning to the Midnight Ocean website because that's where everybody knows me. Till we do that, and but yeah. There we go. Samaritan Sentinel. Cool. Cool beans. Oh, how does this work? I'm hitting buttons over here in the Twitch. Let's kind of scan. Da, 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 da. Watching my ETA, my countdown here. I have no idea what this thing is. Hello. Hello. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Cool beans. So here you go. So here you go. Here's the water cooler section as we're still flying in the background. You guys can hear that. I'll just put this thing on mute. Man, what do you guys think about freaking Comey? This is the water cooler section. This is this is where we talk about water cooler stuff as we go. Oh, Comey. Wow. What a mess. What a mess. I don't know. I just the whole politics thing has got me burned out, to be honest with you. Um, I'm not a big. I don't know. I'm wore out. They got me all wore out. I wonder what. Oh, that's cool. You can still see the adjustment plate. But that's why I'm playing video games and writing code and teaching people how to write code. So tomorrow, as I was going to tell you guys, tomorrow, join us here at Write Code Live. Our website is actually writecodelive.com. We're going to start fresh. We don't have a web server up. We don't have anything. So tomorrow, I am going to show you how to set up a web server. And then from there, we're going to install WordPress. We're going to do a WordPress site. And I'm going to teach you from the very beginning how to create a WordPress site, the tools you need, everything. So by the time we're done, you can create your own template. You know, I was out there. One of the things, guys, you create these templates for WordPress, that allow you to do that. You don't have to, write your own. You can put your own security in it. You can do things. And we're going to start from start to finish, tomorrow. Tonight is, the name of the show is Write Code Live during the day, and at night we are doing the. I will tell you this: tonight is Write Code Gaming. so I'm taking my passions and mixing them together, and of course, we have the water cooler section, which is where we will talk about things, just like work. Have great discussions with each other and everything. So, but let's kind of check our status here of where we're at on on our flight here. So right now we're about 6 minutes out from our first point, and we'll get this up here from Bugs, and then Bugs is going to vector us right in. Probably what I'm going to do is I'll let me see here. Now, our approach plate that we had earlier, let me bring that back up. So our approach plate basically has us at, we got to be at 1,700 feet at COCAD. So we calculated out about 5.5 minutes prior to, we need to start our descent to that. So when we hit bugs, and there's nothing wrong with, with being early. And actually what we could do, because we're up pretty high, now we're at 4,500 feet, uh, on this Cessna, so that's pretty good. But personally, guys, height, altitude is your friend in an airplane. You want to be high. You don't want to be low. If you have engine problems and stuff, basically, if I had engine problems right now, I could land this plane anywhere I want to. Um, I got plenty of roads down there. I probably have airports near me. That's my approach vector. I got to remember how this. It's been so long since I've used one of these Garmin's that there is a way. Let me bring this guy up. I believe there's a way. That's actually my flight last night to. There we go. Nearest airport. So if I had an issue and I needed to fly the airplane, it's 2.8 model, not miles away from me, at bearing 303. So I would turn the airplane at 303, and it would take me right to the airport. And at my height, I could actually probably hit this airport here. That's 4 miles away. So the height is your friend in an airplane. You know you want to be as high as you possibly can be. It's always your friend when flying. A wise man, a good pilot friend of mine once told me, airline pilot said, "You always want to be in the ground wishing you were in the air, and but you never want to be in the air wishing you were on the ground." How true is that? I'll bring our flight plan over here so you guys can see it. And this is what we're going to execute when it is time for us to do our landing. This is called the approach plate. Now we are what they call VFR. This is a GPS approach plate. And, I still, even though I am flying VFR, I still like to fly close to the rules as possible. Right? Just good pilotage. You never know, especially in Florida. You could have um, a really bad storm. Look at that. Look at that detail. Is that not incredible? How that works. I mean, this is you can I can tell you, flying a simulator. I mean, it's still the difference between a simulator and this. Obviously, is you don't get the motion feedback, but it's pretty close. I mean, these instruments are exactly what I would expect. Oh, let me get back over here. I'm talking and not even paying attention to my. So we're 2 minutes out. You guys can't see that because my big old freaking melon's in the way. So we're 2 minutes out, and you'll see the airplane actually make its turn. This is airspace. This is actually a bad flight plan because this puts me into this airport's airspace. I probably, but hey, oh well. I will tell you some things haven't changed. I got my Tim Hortons coffee, best dang coffee. If you're within 500 miles of Tim Hortons, I highly recommend that you take a detour, get out there, tell them that Jeff Norton sent you, get a Danish and everything. So get out there and get a Danish. So we're a minute and a half for making our turn. After we make our turn, we're at Cochrane, so we'll be 32 miles out from there. We know we want to make our descent at about 500 feet, or about 5 minutes prior to hitting Cochrane. We want to be at 1,700 feet when we hit there. You're going to see the airplane here make a turn here in a second. 53 seconds here. We'll just bring this up so you guys, the anticipation is killing you, I know. 45, 40, 41. Yeah, I'm going to ask Miss Sandy if I can get me, I can already tell you the answer. But eventually I'll get me a real yoke and rudders and everything instead of this joystick. It's hard to fly. You like that feel. I mean, that feel, it's not that bad. So we go. 10, 9. This is telling me it's going to track. This is what this is actually telling you. It's tracking. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, and it's going to make the turn. So we're 14 minutes away from Cochrane. So when this gets down to 5 minutes, 6 minutes, we'll start our descent. Whoa, I'm blurry. What happened there? Autofocus. So there we go. So we're 14 minutes away from our next point, which actually is going to put us into Cochrane. So the other thing that we can do is that we can go ahead and execute, because this is the last before we hit our, and we'll pull up, let me pull this chart back up here so you can see it. So before we hit our runway, the COCAD is actually our hold. So I can go ahead, if I wanted to, I can go ahead and tell it to activate approach. So first I want to select approach, and we're going to roll down here, and I'm going to do left, 7 left, 7 right is the smaller one, and I will say enter, and we're going to come in through Oleg. I got to look at my chart here. Okay, the Folig. So they're not COCAD, so we're going to come in through COCAD. Should have known that. And there we go. And we're going to load. And that's going to load that in. Now if we go to our flight plan, you can actually see how we're going to come in to the system. This is our approach 7 left, our hold pattern. We're going to turn 70. We're going to hold in there, and then we're going to come in through Folig down here. And you can actually see that. And in our miss approaches, this is how we're going to miss. This is our site. So this tells us how we're going to come in through the plate, and we'll just fly this down, and then we're going to go out to Geelin, and then we'll hold out there until that's it, guys. Believe it or not, I mean, this is a small aircraft, obviously, right? And it's got everything that you need. It's a nice little airplane. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get down to about 7 minutes before, and then we'll go ahead and shoot our approach, or go ahead and get into our, not shoot our approach, but we're going to go ahead and get into our configuration. I mean, see, anybody can fly an airplane. It's not that hard. It's amazing. I take friends out. Yeah, we can turn on our transponder and squawk 2200. So ATC knows that we're there, air traffic control. Typically, this is your transponder. When you're talking to air traffic control, they'll tell you what to squawk. There is an add-on to this X-plane that allows us to put in air traffic control. I'm still playing with it. I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. Just kind of going around looking here. All right. So for fuel efficiency, I'll show you a couple things here with the airplane. This is your mixture. Now, if you wanted to save a little bit of fuel, you can lean it out. Don't want to lean out too much, but you'll see your cylinder head go up. See how that goes way up? That's because your fuel actually acts as a coolant. Um, and depending on your altitude and where you're flying and the humidity and all that stuff is where you do this. So there's nothing wrong with flying it rich like this. So that's real rich, a lot of fuel, but it helps keep the cool. But you can see where you pulled that back and it um, actually made our cylinder heads goes up. Now the problem with that obviously is you'll get what they call detonation. If your cylinders inside your engine is too hot, it will actually detonate before, and you'll hear that knocking sound. And so you don't want to get your cylinder heads too hot. That's not a good thing. But knocking is called detonation within, and what happens, like I said, is the fuel will actually explode or ignite before it goes into the cylinder, and you'll hear it knocking really bad. And maybe we'll do a flight, maybe where I'll jack the airplane up, and we'll do that. So, all right. So we're about 8 minutes out. Like I said, about 7 minutes, we'll go ahead and start our descent, so that we're at our 1,700 feet before we get into Coker, and you can see it coming in right now. All right. That's one of those things, you gotta. How do I say? You get nervous stuff. You know what? I think we're going a little bit faster than normal. So let me go ahead and let me go ahead and descend. So we're going to descend 500 feet a minute. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with being there early. You always want to be there early. So our target is at 1,700 feet. So we'll, big little hand on the 1, big hand on the 7. And we want to be there before we arrive. So we got to get there within 7 minutes. So if we're doing, hold on, my math is wrong. I got to come down I got to bring her way down. See, that's why we're always checking. So we're going to bring her down at 1,000 feet a minute. I was 5 minutes out. I needed to double that. Yeah, it just didn't seem right. Typically, in my flight plan, when I file a flight plan, I have all this stuff calculated out on my knee board. Nothing wrong with that. We want to make sure we don't overspeed the plane, though. Which we're doing. So let me back off power here a little bit. See, it's a catch-22 because obviously as we go faster, right? I'm going to go ahead and close this out so I can kind of see. As we go faster, we will get there faster. So we'll back our speed back a little bit. That'll give us a little bit more time to get down to altitude. Yeah, the thing about flying I love about flying airplanes is the process of flying. This thing called pilotage, right? Being a pilot's pretty cool. The things that you do prior to and after and during, the checklists and all of that stuff. I love that stuff. It's funny because I'm a flake. I'll be the first one to tell you. But when I get in an airplane, man, I miss those days. It's very mathematical. It's very sterile in nature. There's just things that you just do, right? That's what I love about it. So we're gonna get us down here. Yep, we dropped a lot of air, a lot of distance. We're gonna bring it back in at 500 feet per minute here. Give ourselves a little bit of airspeed because now we're not coming down as fast. And then when we hit 1700, we will hold. Actually, I'm going to hold here because we're still 6 minutes out. Like I said, height is your friend in an airplane. If I was to have engine problems or anything like that, I want as much height as I possibly can get. Go ahead and give us a little bit of speed. Keep our speed up. And this airplane, about 110, is maneuverable. That's what it's telling you. So you got to keep that speed up. Now, granted, we're flying kind of straight and level, so that's okay. But if we were to do a turn, we would lose so much speed so quick, and the plane would be sluggish. So we want to keep this up, up above one. Plus, we get there a little bit quicker. Everything's looking good. That's a good airspeed right there, 120. For this airplane. All right. Now remember, we want to watch our here because we got to be at 1700 when we hit our when we come into COCAD, COCAD, Charlie Oscar Charlie Alpha Delta, COCAD. We got to be at 1700 feet. That's what ATF. That's what air traffic ATC wants us at when we enter into that pattern. Now, normally what we would be doing is we would be talking to the tower now. We would also be listening to get the radio we would be listening for weather, things like that. Just don't want to enter in the airspace. All right. So let's go ahead and drop these few extra feet. We'll turn this on. We'll come down to 1700. Like I said, there's no penalty for being there early. You don't ever want to be there late. You don't want to be high and be late. So we'll get down to 1700, and then we're going to hold our altitude. So we got 2 minutes to spare. Plenty of time. All right. So now what we're going to do is, because we're going to get lined up, so let me go ahead and bring this up, and we're going to go ahead and activate our approach. And basically we are going to now fly this pattern, and we're in a hold. And then now you're going to see the airplane. We got plenty of fuel, so I'll go ahead and do one turn, and you'll see us basically stay in this holding pattern until we get clearance. And so this is, think of it, it's a holding pattern. It's exactly what it is. So the airplane will fly this holding pattern, and this is where we're talking to air traffic control. Maybe there's other airplanes in front of us, or maybe there's, you've got the bigger jets who, have to get somewhere quicker, and we're a little airplane, a little Cessna. And so, they're gonna put us in a hold. So yep. So we're gonna be in this hold, and you're gonna see us fly this hold pattern until we get. So what we'll do is we'll do one evolution of this, and then we'll go ahead and act like. So this is, like I said, this is where we're talking to we're talking to the ATC, air traffic control, and they're telling us what to do. I'm just kind of curious. Why do I not have 132.875? Yeah, that is the thing. That is correct. Now, if this is a real flight, what I would typically do is down here is I would put in my my tower. This would be my ATIS, my weather, and maybe you'll hear it here in a little bit. And then this would be the other thing. Let me bring up some volume so you guys can kind of hear what's going on. Yep, so you're going to see us just kind of stay in this holding pattern now. And the plane will just kind of circle around. We got plenty of fuel, so we'll just, like I said, we'll do one iteration of it, and then we'll come out of the holding pattern like we were released to land, and we'll configure our airplane for landing here in a few minutes. But I am a little curious that I'm not picking up radio. That's just weird. Normally you'd have weather by now. Hey. Switch my channels. Yeah, see, I don't have Crystal River anymore. You'd think I'd have... Oh. So now we're in hold, and you can see our GPS has changed to hold direct. So we are in a holding pattern. So we're just going to sit here and fly. See, there's not a whole lot. Believe it or not, flying an airplane requires, well, everybody's sorry. When I learned how to fly, this is no joke. You spend about 20 hours of flight time learning how to fly the airplane. All the other time is you learn what to do when the airplane does, not crashes. You don't want the airplane crash, but you spend the rest of it on how not to crash the airplane or what happens. It's all about a lot of your training is what do you do if a particular situation, right? And that's what it is. And then there's a thing what we call and you get type rated. So each airplane has its own procedures, right? And you have to know those procedures and you have to learn those procedures and everything. So you can see us here. We're in our hold pattern, so we're gonna fly back out. We'll do another one, and when we come off of this, I'll go ahead and act like we got approved to land, and we'll go ahead and land into Daytona and everything. I'll just go ahead and turn this off. But I am, like I said, I'm a little curious. I'm not hearing the radio from them. I mean, we're not that far away. Little bizarro. Like I said, so typically what I would do if I was really, yeah, there's 87 there, so it's on 2. 875 on 2. Huh. And then Daytona Tower, that's actually Tower down here. Oh, so see, they already programmed this. See how this is Tower. Now this is my V-Lock, which is basically this airplane does not have automatic glide slope where it actually flies the glide slope. You actually have to fly this, but you have the V-Lock, which allows you to fly using the glide slope. It will not fly. Your bigger airplanes actually, believe it or not, will put pretty much within about 500 feet or even 100 feet. We'll fly the glide slope right in. I can always tell when I fly commercial. When the pilot actually takes control, because you'll feel it. You'll feel the airplane jerk. It's just not smooth. I can tell you, man. These the computers nowadays are so sophisticated they'll fly themselves. I actually believe we should have pilotless or planes before we have cars. All right, so we are officially. So we're making our turn. I just spoke with Tower. Here's our Tower frequencies down here. So this is 127. I'd call Cessna, blah, 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 with you, with 8, and if you have the radio, you would tell them what weather report you have. And like I said, I'm curious on why we don't have that. Obviously, I don't know. It's weird. Daytona Tower, this is Cessna N172SP. And we are, and this is the thing, we are in hold, north of your location, blah, 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 10 miles out, give them your location, your fix, and then they would clear us. They would basically clear. I got to go back to radios. I remember when I was flying, man, the radios were the hardest things about flying because you're just intimidated to learn the speech. All right, so I want to get out of this holding pattern. This airplane will fly this holding pattern until I tell it otherwise. So we're going to go ahead and get out of it. So let me bring it back up. We're going to bring in proc, and we're going to say activate approach. We already did that. And now we're going to say activate to final. And what that's going to do is put the airplane on the final into 2.7. So now we're no longer in hold, and we are now coming in to final. We're coming in. Now remember, we have to be at 1700, which we are at. So we have to be at 1600. Now, why is the radio important? Why I'm a little concerned that we don't have audio, ATIS from them, weather, is the fact that my altimeter, but I'm going to cite it in anyway, so it doesn't matter. But my altimeter, to make sure my altimeter is set right for pressures, to know the wind direction, all of that stuff. But I think we're pretty good. It's calm here. So we got to be at 1600 when we hit Folig, and Folig right now we're 3 minutes out. So I'll just go ahead and we'll just go ahead and drop it down our 100 feet now, and we'll be good to go. Have the airport in sight. That is the airport there in front of us. And then at Zorig, we have to be 680 feet. But at that point, we'll just fly the airplane in. I mean, we can fly so 680. So we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we start at about a minute to 2 minutes out, we can be at our 680 if we were flying it by autopilot. That is Daytona there in front of us, I believe. Right there. That's Daytona. Not there. That's not Daytona. That's Daytona. That's where we're going. See the big airport? We don't have the speedway. That sucks. I have to get the scenery pack. They have guys, developers, who do nothing but take like a metropolitan area and create a whole new scenery for them. Alright. So we're a minute 40 out. Go ahead and turn on my wheel so you can see the movements here. The flares. Yeah, we need to be at 680 when we hit Zopri, Zulu, Oscar, Papa, Romeo, Indigo. We need to be at 680, and we'll be at our glide slope. The reason why you fly these is not so you run into things, so you don't run into other things. Right? That's the whole reason. We fly these patterns. So 25, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and... So we need to arrive we're there at our 1600. 7 is counting down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are there, perfect. And now We need to drop out, and we need to be at 680. We have to be there within a minute and 23 seconds. And like I said, normally I would calculate all this stuff out before I would know where we're at. But there is a nice little formula, and I'll share that with you guys later. I gotta dig it up myself. That you do, because you also have to take into consideration your height above the ground. All right, and then when I get there, what I'm gonna do is I'll just take the plane over. And actually, I'll go ahead and take the plane over now because we are not getting there fast enough. Landing lights on, power back. We're way below the glide slope. See my needle, so I want to bring my needle back in. Now, like I said, this is hard to do with a joystick. See my needle, so I want to get those crosses. I want to be center. You'll see it come down, and there it is. It's coming down. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of flap because I'm going to come in a little light. So there we go. And then what we're going to try to do is keep that centered perfect. And that what I'm talking about is the one on the right. See it there? Give myself a little bit of airspeed. Don't want to get too slow. We're a little high. A little low. I don't see Pappies here. Pappies they're basically 4 lights. Okay, so we're a little high. There you go. We're going to just basically fly the needle, guys. Oh, we're a little high. A little high. It's alright to be high. You don't want to be low. Now your goal is that you want to always, you don't want to land on where the arrows are, but you want to land right on the edge of the runway. Alright, so now I have the runway, and I'll go ahead and just bring the speed all the way back. I'm good. Load her down. There you go. Welcome to Daytona International Airport. Like I said, it's kind of hard because you got to twist and turn this because my joystick is a 5-axis joystick. We'll just run them out here. They would be yelling at me now to expedite. In other words, get the heck off the runway so the bigger boys can land behind us. This is cool. We'll take it out. Normally, if I had toe brakes and stuff, we could slow the plane. The problem is with this simulator is that it doesn't have toe brakes. I just have brakes on, brakes off. And toe brakes are kind of like a brake in your car where you can do it. But we'll go ahead and... There we go. We have landed at Daytona International Airport. And we'll go ahead and taxi. Looks like General Aviation's over this way. All right. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of hard. I don't having to twist a joystick. Coming in, coming in. Da, 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 da. I like to even though this is a simulator, is fly the process out. It's all about process, right? To tell you how. Yeah, see, my joystick is. How do you turn off an airplane? Remember how I told you the lean? Starve it of fuel. Alright. Turn this off so we can see it. So we're going to turn our. Alright, so the pattern is basically is what we did back. Turn our navs off. Right? Turn our strobes off, our navigation here. Come on, turn off. It's easier if I just do this, right? What's going on with this mouse? So strobe, beacon, landing lights off. And then there you go. Oh. Everything's off. We are landed. We have landed. So there you go, guys. You hear the gyro. That's what's really cool about this program is that you guys can't hear it because I got the sound turned way down. But that humming that you hear, that's actually the gyros. And the gyros are part of your instrument. Yeah, it's not noise from the thing. So there you go. We have landed. We are at Daytona International Airport. And that concludes this flight. I want to say thank you. Seats upright, right? Put your seat upright and all that jazz and everything. So that is it. Now, I do want to tell you guys tomorrow. So, what's on tap for tomorrow is we are going to join us here, like us on Facebook, do all that stuff that you guys want to do. But tomorrow we will be here at roughly about 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to install Ubuntu Linux, a Linux version on a server, get it ready for our new website, which is Webcode Live, webcodelive.com. We will create our own WordPress template. We're not going to use one of their templates. We're going to create our own, and we're going to use that as a learning tool. And we're going to teach you guys how to not only install Linux on a web server, how to get it configured, all of that jazz, and then we will start from start to finish on how to build a template that we're going to use for our new website, Web Code Live. And then, of course, join us here on chat. Now, once we have the site up and running, I will, we'll have our own chat thing. I'll use use YouTube and stuff. We'll use our own chat. We'll create our own chat, and you guys can chat with us. We will have phone lines so you can call in and you can communicate with us as well through phone lines. So once again, I just want to say thank you. Man, it was nice today, Jeff. Thank you for joining us, brother, in the chat room and stuff. And yeah, we do have. Trust me, I will get. I do have this right here. This is the water cooler. This is where we start talking about politics. We'll get into that stuff, man, and everything. So I'm mixing best of both worlds with that and everything. So once again, I just want to say thanks, man. It is great to be back on the air, talking with you guys. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And like I said, we're just hang in there. Um, like everything else, we will get things in order. Sure enough, and stuff as I sit around and look like I'm chasing squirrels and the screen's going crazy and everything. So I'm trying to, guys. I'm looking for my theme music. You guys know how that works, right? You guys know. Those that know me know the song I'm looking for. I think it's only appropriate to end the show with. I don't know if I got him in this one here. Let's see here. Do free show sounds. Let's see what we got here. Incredible but true. Those are old. And I have to go through all of this stuff and look. Intros. Wow. There's some old stuff here, man. Let me look here and type. You guys know what I'm looking for. You guys know exactly what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking. It's my theme song. It's the song. I love this song. It's the one that I always do. It's still looking. Let's let Microsoft scan my computer. They do it anyways. Might as well. What the heck, right? What the heck? They do it anywho. Don't have any say so in it. Wow. Can't believe that it's not here. There, hold on. At the Love Machine. What the heck's a Love Machine? Love MP3. That is crazy. Well, doesn't look like we're going to be able to find. No, I got to do this. I cannot not end my show without any music. Let's go back to, let's see here. Come on. That is crazy. I cannot believe that I cannot find this song. And it's funny because I'll get in YouTube. I'm back on YouTube for the first time and I'll get in trouble for playing this song. But I don't care. I have rights to it. I know the guy. I know the guy who gave me permission. I know the artist. He gave me permission specifically to play his music. Wow, I can't find it, guys. I'll just have to, I'll look for it tomorrow. But let me just do this. Show sound. Again, let's just pick one here. How about this one? Let's do, I love this song. There we go. Take care until tomorrow. Hey, join us here probably about 11 o'clock. You'll get a notice. And we'll start installing Linux, Ubuntu, and we'll go from there. You are listening to Right Code Gaming tonight. It is gaming after hours. But tomorrow will be Right Code Live. And man, it's been fun. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Take care, be well, and sit back, enjoy the music. Ah